Hello and welcome. I am the Imperishable, and on today's episode we are going to talk the Masters. So I've already done this video, but as you can see it's not great audio. I am probably going to delist that and just do this one. So this is me once again talking about the Masters, talking about how it's going to go, how I think it's going to end up. Obviously talk about the pack, talk about the list I would run, and just talk about how my season in general, my 2025 season. So, starting off the bat, I got into Masters, I came 20th overall, which is really great. I obviously actually haven't played a proper tournament, it seems, since 1.5, which was actually quite a big reveal. Obviously, at that point, we had Home Nations, then I had a Clash of Nations, WCC, then I had Welsh Open, where I took Cetra, and a bit more chilled. And then obviously I haven't really played. I played a couple, like a one day here and there, but it's that kind of thing. I haven't actually done quite a lot, but obviously I've played a lot of games in between. So yeah, so I actually haven't actually changed it. I didn't get to go to the Black Country 3 because I wasn't available on the Sunday, and then our doubles was on the Saturday. But that was really a good event, rerun by Sam. So looking into that, before I get in, I just want to talk about the Masters as a whole. So it's obviously happening up in Newcastle. It's going to be a really good event and whatnot. They are running the Open alongside it, which I think was really quite cool. So it's going to be two kind of big tournaments. It's probably the biggest kind of setup for a tournament, which I really am impressed by. The only thing I was disappointed with the Masters was how the vote was done. It was done as a public thing. It was very fast, rash, because I think people were wanting it, but it wasn't done in the correct channels, in my opinion. So the idea of it was is it first round of the post? So the idea is there was 5 events, the bottom one got dropped and we voted again and again. Some people didn't vote in all the rounds, and then when it got to the final 2, it's between Birmingham and Newcastle. It got to a tied vote, but with some people who hadn't voted in previous leagues, or some people who voted apparently because there might be lobbying. There's all these different things that was talked about. And then my big thing that really, like for me, I would have preferred it differently, is it got to the top 50 and it was a tie. I mean, it was 24 to 24. 2 people didn't want to vote, because they get to it, or the idea they were impartial. So there was 24 v 24, and they extended it to the next 60 and the next 10. Where personally, I would have preferred if they dropped it down, knocked it down to just okay, the 41st to 50th person, your votes have gone. Let's see what the vote is, because I'm sitting there currently. I was 13th, I think, at the time, and it had someone who was 60th vote to where the Masters were, and that was me. The big annoyance, in my personal opinion. I think it would have been better if it was set up, but it wasn't really talked about before what would happen if there was a draw, because it wasn't using the standard I think they wanted to use it, because it was all a bit rushed, and that's my only thing. That was my only negative. But Newcastle won. I can't go, unfortunately, because of time and money. I can't get up there just because of what my job is like, and also I think there's other things going on. So unfortunately I can't go to it, which is a shame, but I will do loads of Masters talks. I will chat to people who will probably be going. I'll probably try and get an interview of some other people who are going, see their opinion on the pack. I will look at the list. I will do a list breakdown. I'll probably do it with Owen. Sorry, Owen, dropping you in already. And we'll try and talk about that. And obviously, when the Masters is done, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about how my list would have done, how I felt, etc. So we're going to jump straight into the rankings. I'm just going to talk to you how I did and where I kind of ended up. So let's jump into there, and then we'll have a look at the pack, and then we'll look at my potential lists I would have taken. So this is Old World Rankings. It's a fantastic website. It's all things in the meta. So I'm on the 2025 season, because that's the season we just said. 2026 season has already started, which I find all a bit weird. There's not really a talk about when the crossover was, so it's just from the Black Country onwards now. So my only thing, I wouldn't want the Masters to be in this. Maybe I do want the Masters to be in, I don't really know. But yeah, already there's people with votes, but there hasn't been a vote of how it's going to go with, is it top 4, how's the points working, so maybe this will all be changed to things. But into the 2025 season, Keith did come top, which was well done to Keith. Scott Reed's up there, I think he's the top Tomb Kings player, yep. Then it's technically Vampire counts, but also it is Undead up top. Steve's up there, well done. Tom, Jack, Tal, who got 10-10s by etc, just saying. It all goes down there. There I am. I'm 20th. I made it in with just 7 points, but I knew the Welsh Open I wasn't going to get any points because I was thinking etc. I wasn't going to with the idea that I'm going to win. I think if I knew I could go to Masters, they say if it was in Birmingham, and I would have maybe taken a higher list to try and get myself in there. But yeah, overall, I did alright. I won. If we have a look at my thing, I don't know what that is. So I won the Christmas Joust there. I did alright in this one. I can't remember where it says. Came 35th. Top half was Cetra. I didn't go negative. I won 2, lost 1, draw 2. So actually net positive. It was quite good. Clash of Nations was good. Black Country GT2. This is where I took Prince Possum and the Frog, which was really good. And with the Unkillable Dragon, it was really good fun. Black Country 2. This is where I took my Ushabti Spam. And then the online WCC, which I did alright. Okay, I got quite a few draws. I went into some quite bad matchups, but trying to get points. And then obviously Welsh Open 1 was my first one where I came 13th. I got unlucky, I felt, in my final game. I lost to Jack Ward just. It was a really tight game. I lost to Keith game 3 because I didn't play the mission or not. I lost to Richie game 2 because he won the mission by a single ranger. It was a really good fun event. It was really close. But yeah, that's my kind of thing. I actually haven't played too many big tournaments, but I've been playing a lot of Warhol, playing a lot locally, trying to get up there and whatnot. So that's where I am. Came 20th, so I did make it into it. With it though, it has dropped down to Nick is the last person to get in. So let's have a look at the pack, and then I've got a great image that I think I've got set up already that looks at what we think is going to come. It's from Pash, so it might be wrong, but there's very good right there. So the pack, it's a very good pack. It's got some good comp, which I actually quite like. It's a 2,000 point list. List deadline is on the New Year's Eve, so hopefully they'll get released quite quick, because I think my partner is actually working New Year's Day, so I can actually do it then. I'm a bit annoyed at some Best Go pairings, just because to follow it along you have to become a subscriber. You can't just nice and easy on a new recruit. But the comp is Regen's not on unstable. Absolutely fine with it. It's broken. It helps Undead so much, even being an undown player. I'm annoyed that I've lost it, but it's understanding. Cannons, this is the one I think is the most important. You cannot shoot something you cannot see. So my casket hiding behind a building is great. I think in Britain, the British kind of play style, we are very much like that. But if you go to like WTC, Clash of Nations, it's very much, well, I can do that. It's in the rules. Vampire counts, Mortis Engine, abilities and buffs don't stack. I think this needs to go harder, not just on VC. Any ability with the same name cannot be yours twice. So Necrotex getting the same ability twice. There must be some other things like plus armor or anything. Anything like, if it's the same spell, same effect, same something, you can't be affected by it. We've already seen it with Spiritual Vortex, you can only get affected by one of those. Things like that, I think, would be quite good. Vampire camps are limited to 3 screams, but also something that's not here, which is being added in by the UKTC, is that there is 3 ethereal. So the maths behind it, at max you're only ever going to see 1 Hexwraith unit, because you have to take a Banshee for each Hexwraith unit. So the combination you'll probably see is 2 Banshees and Hexwraiths, 2 Banshees and the Ethereal General, and play something else with the points, or then Hexwraith, Banshee and Ethereal thing, or even some Spirits. But the idea is there's only going to be 1 unit of Hexwraiths, which is in my list build and what I'm thinking of. And there's something that affects both Vampire counts and Tomb Kings, is that the banner does not allow you to reroll anymore. It's just a banner. It gives you the D3 Indomitable, but that is gone, the reroll. So you'll see it in both my lists that they've gone. I don't need it. I think it's 25 points that could give up potentially 125 points if you get killed in combat extra that you don't need. It's a big hitter. It's a big hitter to the Ushabti spam because of the regens. The resing is not as reliable, but it does really, I think, hurt Vampire counts more on their resing, and then also their ability for the plus weapon skill and things like that. And then also caskets are actually alright versus VC, and because I played it on the online WTC where I had a single casket and I hit his Mortis Engine, he failed his leadership. I was like, I'm going to do so many wounds, I might kill you here. Then he had a reroll. So having the lone casket actually might be alright on the shooting. So I guess Cafe limited is either 1 character balloon or 2 non-character balloons. I think you should play it as 2 non-character balloons. I may be mad. and you just take them with the crane guns and you just sit them back. 135 points, just sit the back. They're really hard to kill. They're still T5 with 8 wounds, or 7 wounds, and you're shooting strength 6 -2. It's just shooting like your shabby shots, and you're just there plinking off knights. You're plinking off the odd warrior, and then you're just not losing the points. They're like free 270 points of just pure shooting. The cafe negative movement can't stack, but once again, this is that idea of the same abilities should not stack. Ring of Jet is not common. Good. It's a better ruby ring, so you can spam it. Not good. Ogre Loaders are part of the crew when they die if the war machine dies, so shooting. However, in combat, you must allocate the character. I don't really know how that works in the sense of if I kill the crew, is it dead, or is it works as like a champion, I'm guessing. So it overspills, I don't know. And then finally, Brett's. The Green Knight cannot charge on turn, it appears. So I'm a bit 50-50 on this. Obviously, for me, it makes my life so much easier. I don't have to worry about it. But I do think that it is a player thing. Like, you can play against it. You know where it can come. It can only come in a couple of places. If you deploy correctly, we can have a look at it. So maybe allowing it to charge is fine. But yeah. It's a non-Renegades army, it seems. It's just back to that. It has to be fully painted and based. And let's have a look then. So we've got mission 1 is just upon the field of glory domination. So it's endgame. I'm looking at this. Big and passable, hill, water, woods. I'm potentially thinking, do I go this side for them if I want to roll off to deploy first? Because they can't really come over here. I could potentially put my illusion wizard just here if they put their like big dragon or something here to help counteract it and get close, because it can't really harm me here. Can't really get a lot down here. Obviously, I don't know how big the trains are, and then this is a massive kind of shooting alleyway. Kind of, I can get these shabby shots. Game 2, chance encounter. For me, the worst map in the world. Every game system, I find it so hard to play this, and even so now. I was looking at this, and if you get this zone, you are very trapped if you're playing infantry heavy or like cavalry or whatnot, because this is all impassable. Because I was looking at this, like if I want the roll off, I think I'm choosing this side. I've got a hill to look over here. I don't know what those little blue features. Oh, I think they're strategic locations. I think you choose this side. You deploy like here. Okay, you shab the unit up in the hill, and then this is just all open ground basically. Special feature. I don't know if they're playing it as a physical building, but once again, then that is really clogging up this zone. This is the zone I think you want, or you go more neutral and you go this zone, because then this protects your flank, and you've got a hill that you can shoot down. And this once again is really open. I'm going to say you don't want to be here or here personally, because it really traps you in. Maybe if you are, let's say, gyro spams or like balloons, you go here and then you drop both your balloons here or both your balloons like here. Mission 3, sorry, I have to, oh, you can see it there, fine. Okay, drawn battle lines, so you're on here. Once again, I'm looking at this is very much a hidden thing. This is great to like jump around and hide from. So I'm thinking here, I want to go here. I deploy just here. I press for this one in the middle, shoot up here, or you use this and you tow the hill and you can shoot it. This one is very much, I think, a bit more even terrain. I think I would probably go now maybe this side. I put my little illusion wizard here to protect me if I see that. If not, I can go over here. I've got a big open gunfire down here. I've got the hill for protection. They can hide some things here, but they have to come out before they do something. I think this is the side I would want to zone in A. Onto mission 4. We've got strategic location 2 and baggage train. I looked at this one. This is one where there's 2 train forts with a shooting army. If you sit on this side, down. Oh, you can't see my mouse. Sorry, I thought you could. Deployment zone B. There is a lot. You can get a really big gun line from here, just shooting down here. Yes, they can hide behind this thing, but you can technically get behind because there's no cover here. The only way Deployment Zone A can really do anything is to jump down here, but it's going to take a couple turns to do that, and then you can shoot off and clear, hopefully. If I get given Deployment Zone A, I think I want to, once again, maybe I want to go here and here to cover myself and put my illusion wizard somewhere here to protect myself with the impassable terrain. This one I really want to win the roll off and get deployment zone B. So final one, this one's a bit weird. There's kind of 2 trains of thought. I think personally you probably want to do, for me, because of this impassable terrain, to stop them charging me. Yes, it means I can't shoot them. I would want this side to then actually come down here. There's only a small gap and the impassable terrain's there. If I get this side, I want to be using the hill because once again, it's very open. Things are very open. I think for shooting armies, especially someone like your Shabdi Spam, is going to be quite good. Or like the big bricks that you'll see Scott hold. They're just going to move up here and here. Just sit there, shoot you. Really hard to get into them. But yeah, really great missions. I think they're really quite cool. It's nice to see the terrain that it's placed for you, but it's not symmetrical terrain like WTC was. I really liked it, but it's individual. And the idea is, I'm hoping, I don't know, Scott's probably not going to watch this video, but the idea is I think this would be really interesting if we can get in touch with the people of Warhol or how you make pre-made maps, because this would be all interesting to see. And the idea is this is your map 1, because I would like to play on this, and maybe that's what I need to do in Warhol and try and set it up. So that is where I was, where at the comp. I'm now going to get the image up of looking at the people who are going and what armies we think they're going to have. So here it is. Okay, this is the all the people who are going. This is done by Pash. I've just nicked it off him. He posted it, so I'm using it. And it's just going through the potential, what people are going to bring and what we have to think about what's coming here. So we've got Ed, Tom and Nick looking at these from Wildman. To be honest, Ed could take anything. He's played Exiles, he's played High Elves, he's played Dark Elves. Obviously Beastmen seems to be the big boogeyman at the moment, so maybe that's what we're seeing. Jack Allen with Brett, Jack Toll with Brett Exiles. Once again, he's played that quite religiously. We looked at he's showing me his list, and we were talking about how, because it's not a Green Knight thing, he's not going to take the Green Knight, he's going to take the double Baron, double Bombard, a big unit of Pegs, like big brick kind of thing, like what you'll normally see, and double Wizards. Pash, Krish, Adam and Mark all on Cafe. As I said, I think how you'll see Cafe is Mao Ying. I think you go double Shigengan, you go trip cannon. Can you do trip cannon as well? Maybe double cannon, double balloon thing, and 500 points in core. I think you'll be able to make that up, and that's what I've got to think. So there'll be one really big thing. You've got two balloons, etc. Tom with Chaos Dwarves. He's most likely bringing 4 monster spam. So that'll be interesting. Owen Davis with Nolan. This is where all my minuscule shooting works really well versus Nolan. Something I didn't realise, how they're doing the army list. Is it with the additional points? Oh, I don't know. I think they might be just doing the you go what's the word? You can take, if it's restricted in some way, so Owen Davies might still take 4 cannons. Sam Freestone with High Elves, he gave me a bit of stick when I first said he might go Cafe. I might have misheard somewhere. Pete with High Elves Trey. So this is what you're going to see. It's going to be double dragon and then some core. I quite like Sam's core. He had silver helms and whatnot, and leaving Reavers to get in. Then we've got Albert James Barr and Matt Patsy or normal Tomb Kings. Albert James Barr's is Unkillable Dragon, 2 units use Shabdi, a couple bricks, which I find weird, the composition. Double Casket, but he wasn't playing like Necromancy, he was just playing double Casket. And I think a lone Necro Sphinx. Is it a lone Necro Sphinx? Can you get that on points? You should be able to get that on points. So maybe something like that. He did alright. He did well at the Welsh Open. And then we got Mikel with Tomb King's Mort Colt. He plays kind of that more traditional. He has probably about 12 Ushabti. He's been playing with a Poison Brick, which I'm playing with it in Royal Host. It's been quite fun, quite good. But I just don't think outside Royal Host it's worth it, because obviously any movements you get in front rank and that's about it. Scott Reed, obviously double brick, a couple skirmish unit and 3 wizards and level 1 illusions. It's just what he does. It's really good. If he runs that, I don't think he's going to win the Masters, because it doesn't get enough points. Into someone who thinks they could do it, he might 20-0 them. But someone who's like, okay, you just understand that you can't break the brick. So you've got to try and win mission, try and keep your stuff alive. and that's the play style against it. I honestly, like I said for WTC, I don't think he's going to lose a game, but it's going to be close. I think he'll be undefeated, but he will get on average 13 points a game, so like 65 points I would go with on average, which I don't think is going to be enough to win the Masters. But Scott Reed is a very good player. I think he can go out and get those points, and he knows how to play his list. He's played his list so long that he knows what he's doing. Then we've got the VC contingent. Mark could be also in this VC with Jack Ward, Charlie, Keith. Obviously, Jack Ward for Cafe, he's very much someone who could bounce across all different armies, try and play that top army. But VC, as I said, you're going to see Graveguard, you're going to see Double Zombie, you're going to see a Mortis Engine, and then a guy not a Mortis Engine probably. You're going to see your 3 Ethereal that you have. You probably still take the White Lord because you have to have him for the Graveguard, but you might not take him with a banner. If you do take him with a banner, you take the Tapestry so you can't get stomped to death. Mark is on Warriors or VC because he's been playing a lot with Khorne Warriors and he's done quite well. I think he came 3rd at the Black Country or 4th at the Black Country with this full send Warriors list. Steve and Dr. Lubaxor with the Wolves of the Sea, so the idea of triple dragon, get some skin wolves in there, kind of thing. It's kind of what you expect, and loads of cheap scoring core. That's a big thing with win missions. You get loads of things, especially now with the new book. You've got T4 Marauders in his core, or T5 Berserks in core, which is quite tasty. I quite like that. I think it's quite good. So yeah, that's all the list. So I'm going to go. So the big things here is there's going to be a Conte contingency. There's going to be a VC contingency. There's going to be a lot of monster mashes. So I need to build a list that can deal with that. So that's what I've gone about and have a look. So let's have a look at my 2 lists that I'm contemplating. One is more of a can it break a Graveguard brick, and I'll explain my reasons behind it. And then the list I think I would have taken. So here is my Graveguard breaker. So the idea is as a level 4 wizard with Scroll Withering, Elementalism, Lore Familiar, Ruby Ring. Ruby Ring's there to help deal with any Ethereal. He takes Wind Blast, takes Plague of Rust, he takes Urban Ramparts, he takes TMP. He's there to do all those things. Scroll of Withering is there to try and get rid of the regen of the thing, so get rid of that 5-up regen. I've got a Royal Herald with Unkillable, basically. He's there to tank the Tomb King if there's anything major that needs to go into it, so he stays close to him. Tomb King here, though, and this is where can I get enough damage comes into it, is he's 4 attacks base. You give him the Kraken Blade for D6 extra attacks, so you get 7 attacks on average, 7-8 attacks on average. He's got a Dragon, he's got stomps, but we're presuming they're taking the Tapestry if they can find the points. You drop a Banshee to get it in, basically. With the Warning Split. So he's still 4/5/5, 9 wounds, can still be rezzed up, a wound a turn kind of thing, but he's got some output. And then 3 Skeleton Chariot. So this is what I'm wondering, can this combination break a brick? So before these 3 impacts, and imagine though, it all goes well. So if your versus great weapons, I think this is where you've got a good chance. Because you get Scroll of Withering off and you get Plague of Rust off. If you got that versus that, they have no save. So those 8 impact hits on average, you're doing 4 wounds, 4 guys are dead. Okay, you got your 4 combat rest. We need to win by I think it's 14 on average. If you kill 14 and win by 14, because the most brick sizes are like 26 to 28. So can we do that? So that's got you 4. You've got loads of little attacks from the Tomb Kings. Even like the horses themselves, you'll probably get a couple wounds. The Dragon then gets his 5 attacks. The D6 attack. So the idea is, if you're versus a Graveguard with great weapons, I don't know the exact maths, but I think if you roll above average, you are going to break that brick, and then you can run through and get through. And it's a lot of points. It's what 14. It's about 700 points to break the brick potentially. Obviously, if you don't get Scroll Withering off, obviously if you don't get Plague of Rust off. Do you go in? Probably not. And then it's backed up with Skeleton Skirmishers for cheap clearing off chaff from in other games. I've got a small brick of Skeleton Warriors with the Monsters Hunter's Tapestry. They're there to look after the wizard. They're there to be annoying on a tar pit. And I've gone double Ushabti with Greybow, and I'm quite liking these. I play one of these 5-mans in my Royal Host list at the moment. just to help deal with other stuff. Because the idea is, we've got to think, it's not just going to be Graveguard. We're going to see balloons. We're going to see dragons, etc. So my dragon can kind of hold up versus another dragon and get quite a few attacks in. Try and clear the rest off. Can I deal with triple dragon with this? Probably not. The casket's there for the +1 cast, so I get a +3 Plague of Rust. It'll be a -1 because they've probably got MR of some sort in there. You'll probably see a White Lord with, because you drop a Banshee, you take the no stomp banner, and then you take the warding splint, the axe thing, spell your axe. So I wonder, will it break it? Probably not, but I'm interested to see, and I'm interested to play it. I might try and do it on Warhol. I'd say this is solely for VC and breaking bricks. If we're starting to see bricks more, I think this kind of combination of trying to hit everything and then go to really just get through. But the list I would look, and I think I would, this is the list I've kind of fallen on for Masters, is this. So it's, once again, it's a cult list. It's level 4 Elementalism, level 3 with Scroll Wyvern, Illusion, Lord Familiar, and Ruby Ring. So this is kind of my normal priest I've been running with, but he's now got Scroll Wyvern and now Ruby Ring, because it needs to help get rid of Hex Rays, trying to really hurt them. Because I think in a Graveguard matchup, in a VC matchup, I do Shimmering Dragon, Column, and then the Mind Razor. And I know it's not great, the Mind Razor, because everything's Leash Bait. At least they don't get to reroll it, but it's there to potentially snipe off the odd wounds, and with a Fireball could kill a unit of Hex Rays. And then a level 1, doesn't matter what spell he is, because I'm going to go reroll 1s to hit probably, and he's just there for an extra 2 wound thing. Then it's loads of just cheap shooting, Scares and Horse Archers, Scares and Skirmishers, 1 unit with Ambush, that one, yeah. And then it's 9 Bow Shabdi, double Tomb Scorpion, double 5-mans, and a Casket. It's basically what I took to WTC, but I've lost AU Shabdi, and I think that's because I've got a Scroll Wyvern and now a Ruby Ring, and I've dropped the banner. That's basically the only difference. It works really well at WTC. I think with the Scroll Wyvern, potentially it does alright, does even better now. And if you were allowed my reroll, I drop the Ruby Ring and get on that thing again, and then maybe shuffle around some points to get a better in my core, because I can work a few things out in my core, because I think that's quite strong. Or I drop this, technically what I could do is I can drop this to an 8-man, and this is probably better. Drop this to an 8-man, make this a 6-man. This is actually probably a better list. Just so it spreads out the shooting, it spreads out the standing shoots, it spreads out how many wounds I can take. I think this is what I would take, because it can deal with big stuff, as I know. It can deal with any other shooting army, so it can deal with cannons, it can deal with null, it can deal with gyros really well. Really likes playing gyros, but I don't think there's that. It's really good versus Bretts and their pegs and whatnot. Anything with knights, the 19 bolt throwers are going to really do well. All the Scares and Skirmish and shooting is really, really good. And obviously versus those big dragons, I've got my Column of Crystal, which I can chuck out in front of them, because it's hard to stop, and I can get to that +4 on that one turn that I need. Yeah, I just think there's a lot that it can do, and I think this is, I would have taken it to Masters, that I think it's a very strong, it's probably not the best Tomb King list. As I said, I think Scott's list is the best Tomb King list, but this list I feel can 20 more often than Scott's can, but Scott's is more safe. And this is something I know how to play. I've played it solidly since the start of the edition, back in the first GT, the Twin Sentinels. I just think this is very good. It's anti-balloon, it's anti-big stuff, it's anti-Chaos Dwarves, it's anti-Beastman, because I don't rely on my magic anymore. And like if they're bringing Brosman Verbal out, I just shoot. Yes, they've got the Chalice for that one turn, which is annoying. But I just try and shoot, and something I've realised, bricks can't really break 8-man Ushabti in a turn. That I know my resin isn't as reliable, but then trying to bring that back up, there's a chance I can bring a load back and still be in the fight. It's hard to break an 8-man Ushabti brick. Not a lot of things have, unless it's been properly like surrounded, etc. Especially with resin support. So I'm a big thing on that. I think that's this is what I would take. I think it can deal with a lot that's on offer. As I said, once we've seen lists, I will determine it. I probably speak to Owen and we'll get him on and we'll do my list versus that list. What do we rank it? 6 out of 7, 7 out of 10 kind of thing, that kind of thing. But yeah, as I said, I think this is my best list that I could make, and I'm happy with. Obviously, this is probably going to change when it comes to the FAQ and errata that comes out end of Jan. I think they said end of Jan, so we'll see what happens there. But I'm very excited for the Masters. So as I said, that's me going through it. I've gone through what could come up, the pack, my list, etc. As I said, I think that Ushabti Spam is one of the best all-rounders. It's really hard to beat. Says that. Obviously, other Tomb Kings players are actually quite good versus it. Like the Unkillable Dragon is a nightmare, but Miasmic Mirage it, Column Crystal it, just make it so it can't do anything is really crucial. If it goes into the Ushabti, nothing's happening. We're going to sit there all day, which is fine. The idea is versus Travar, I could outshoot them. I can outshoot his caskets. I can outshoot his Ushabti. I've got more reses on my end. And playing that kind of style, I'd say it's, for me, I think it's best out there. I'd say I lost 2 games at WCC with this type of list, and I don't want to blame because I was really hungover, but I lost to the French AI because of missed position for my characters, so I couldn't res my Ushabti. And then game 2 versus America Korbag is I placed my wizard where he was at. I could have made him even more safe, 100% safe. I wanted to be in range, and then he failed a leadership test, and he chose not to use General Inspiring Presence. So he was able to royal form and then charge my wizard. My wizard didn't die, but it meant he couldn't keep his other dragon down, because then he got into my big unit and then lost. And I only lost 13-7, and I think if he stayed alive, I would have been able to keep things going. And maybe that was a big swing on that front there. But no, as I said, I'm very looking forward to the Masters. I'm hoping there'll be a lot of YouTube content on. I know Pash will do loads. I think Richie's thinking to stream it. Hopefully they've got a better streaming setup. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'd say when lists are out, I will do a list review. When the tournament's over, I will do a tournament breakthrough, talk about what happened, who played what, see if that matters, some analysis. I'd say I will try, when list goes out, I will do a list review, but then maybe get on some of the Dudley boys and chat to them then. But no, thank you very much, guys. As always, thank you for watching. If you've gotten this far into the video, please use Firestorm link down below. It's the best way. It's the only way to support me. So thank you very much, and have a lovely Christmas, and ta-ra.